Alright, so it is Thursday evening, and I just casted on the Havkonge Genser Seeking Sweater by Mari Hönestrick, Ladybug Knit. I'll link her down below to the pattern, as you can see. And I'm knitting this up in partially this orange, and the complete color scheme is, I think I showed you in a different, my haul video. This is the color scheme I'm going for. The cyan color is the main one, and the yellow, pink, and orange. I just really wanted a funky looking sweater for my little nephew, and I just started the ribbing here. As you can see, not much, but it's a nice color for like a 2-year-old boy. And I just remembered that I have knitted sweaters for him before. I knitted I am I have committed to knit the Weasley sweater for him every year, and every year for his future siblings as well. And he is turning 2 in February, so he had already one of those sweaters, and he loves it. His parents also love it. They're real Potterheads, but I have gotten feedback that the cast on edge is a little tight on him. I just remember that right now. So I was like, huh. I mean, it looks tiny. So I was just putting my fingers here and just trying to stretch it out and figure out it is actually getting tight. I mean, way before the ribbing. So I'm gonna start over, and I'm gonna do the cast on edge in like, I'll try just the 3.5, because I'm doing the ribbing in all of the ribbing in 3mm needles, and the stockinette parts in 3.5. So I'm just gonna check if casting on in 3.5 and knitting on 3, or ribbing in 3, will help, or if I have to go up to 4mm needles for the cast on, just so that it's comfortable for a longer period of time. I will probably have to do that with the body as well, but that's fine. Just that I can know now. Happy that I cast it on for an arm first instead of a body, because it's 36 stitches instead of 144. Again, I am not doing a gauge swatch here. I can check if, like, for 4mm needles, this yarn should be like 22 stitches equals 10 centimeters. So if I take this, okay, that means that I will get more. This is gonna be bigger. That's actually pretty good, because the pattern says that 22 stitches equals 10 centimeters on the 3mm needles, no 3.5mm needles. And since that's the same gauge as for 4mm needles, meaning that the gauge will be off, but in my case, positive way, because he's a big boy. He's turning 2 in February, and he is big for his age. So I would love to knit him like the size for a 3-year-old, but the pattern doesn't have that. It has 2 and then 4. So since I am knitting on a smaller needle, having more stitches per 10 centimeters, it will be maybe like for a 3-year-old, which pans out perfectly, but I will still frog or unravel this cast on piece here and cast on a 3.5 millimeter needle and continue the rib on a 3 millimeter. I think that will work just fine with the new knowledge that I just have. But yeah, now I know. I will unravel and I will start over tomorrow. Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Charlotte and this is my little knitting nook, and I have started a new little project, as you can see, currently knitting on, and it is the Havkongegenser by Mari Hannestrik, or translated Seeking Sweater by Ladybug Knits. I am currently knitting on a body. I did finish both of the sleeves in like one afternoon each. So one day for both sleeves, so I only had the body and the yoke and the collar left. I have even secured the ends on one of the sleeves. Awesome. I do have some notes on these on the pattern, specifically diagram A, and I might as well just get to it right now, right? So as you can see here, let me actually use the one that's completely done. As you can see here, cuff is in one color, and then there's just some Fair Isle, some color work on the bottom, which is not the same for the body. It can be, but I decided not to for some reason, because I may actually knit the pants as well for this, but one thing at a time. Color work section, it looks gorgeous. I really like it. The color combination is really funky. They're I don't know, the color on the camera just doesn't really make it justice. It feels a little bit more vibrant, but not in a good way, if that makes sense, on camera versus in real life. In real life, they're just a little bit more funky. Like the pink, I think it's the fact that you can't really, can you though? Yeah, I think that's it actually. The pink kind of fades into the orange a little bit too well. Maybe I should have switched the pink and the yellow here, but it makes sense when I get the yoke, because I figured I just want the pink there for a pop of color. How visible is, yeah, you see it is way more visible on the blue. Is it though? Oh my god. We'll see. Maybe I say no turning back right now, but it is a turning back, but I don't want to turn back right now because both of the sleeves are done. There's no sleeve island anymore, which is great. It's only the body. But yeah, as I was saying, the pattern does not line up. It is, you have to cheat a little bit on the pattern to make it look better. I did that on the second sleeve. As you can see here, it lines up better, but not perfectly. And it is simply just a diagram. It just goes straight. It does not take account for increases in in the sleeve, that's why it works better for like the body, but not as well for the sleeves, or where increases or decreases is worked. So I'm not really that happy with that. But also, it's for a boy. It's for a little boy who is growing fast, so it won't be worn that much. Maybe if he ever gets a little brother or a little sister, it will be hand down. It probably will be, but still, it's for children, and children likes like funky colors and fun colors and lots of colors. So I figure this is perfect for him and for his future siblings. So therefore, use the yarn that I have. It is kind of a scrap yarn project for me, because I don't see anything else that I would be using these colors in, because this is not my style, even though I don't really knit for myself. But yeah, so I started this project on technically Thursday, but properly Friday, because I finished my second knit through of the twist loop top by Other Loops on Thursday evening, and I figured I at least wanted to get the ribbing on the sleeve done on the same Thursday. And I got halfway, and then got thinking about some feedback that I got for a different sweater that was also for my nephew. It was the Weasley sweater, because I'm a Potterhead, and my brother and sister-in-law are also Potterheads, and I figured perfect if they ever get a child, which they were heavily pregnant when I first met them. I will gift that for them, easily as that, for their child, and children, future children. So yeah, I knitted that for him, and he loved it. He used it a lot. He wore it so much in kindergarten, and I got feedback that it started to get tight around the sleeves, around the arms, the cuffs. And so I figured that I will cast on a 4mm needle, just to have a little bit looser of a cast on edge, and then continue the rib, or work the rib, with a 3mm needle, which the pattern calls for, and then work the colorwork sections and the stockinette parts on a 3.5mm needle, which is also called for in the pattern. And I feel like that worked pretty good. You can see here, it does get a lot of good stretch. I think that if it ever gets, if he gets that big that this is uncomfortable for him, then that's not on me. But it really helped. So I think forward I will cast on like an entire millimeter bigger needle, especially for sleeves, just to have a little bit more give to them. But I will inform my sister and brother-in-law that I did this, and I would like some input from them if it ever still gets tight. But yeah, currently working on a body. It is Sunday. I don't remember if I said that, but it is Sunday, and I just have to work this until like the beneath the armpits, and then connect these, and then work the yoke. I think I will get this project done pretty quickly, simply because it is a sweater for a tiny human. I do have a lot more to knit for him. Like I said, I mentioned briefly that I might do the pants for him. And I think I will, because this is just a second ball of yarn. I have 8 more of this color, so I need to work something with it. So I think that I will work the pants as well for him. And so we will get this sweater, matching pair of pants, and I have some brown yarn, same type of yarn. It's the Stora Alpaca Static in various colors. And I have this brown, light brown, or latte, and white, and some pink. So I'm gonna make him some overalls. I'm gonna knit him up some overalls. I will probably use the same pattern for the matching set of pants for this, but I would just cast on in front for like the flap. And I will attempt to knit a bear face on that flap. And I'll maybe even knit up a little tail for him on the back of the pants. And have some funny bear details, because he's 1. He turns 2 in February, so I don't know, maybe that will be cute. And perhaps I'll even knit up a bear jacket with a hood. That's like a big hood that it can flop over its head, over the eyes, and it will be like a bear face. I think that would be cute for him, fun for him. I do have the yarn. I also have like 10 balls of that brown yarn. So probably it would be nice for him to have that. And so he will. So with that alone, that would be like a top and a bottom times 2 for the same little boy. And since he's a Potterhead, and I have vowed to knit up the Weasley sweater for him every single year, he will get the same sweater every single year, maybe different variations of yarn. This year he's getting the type of yarn that I want to knit the same sweater up for myself. Not the same color. I want the blue one or the green one. But he's getting red, because he will always and forever only get red, because that was the first color that he got. So forever and always red, and yellow/gold for him on the tee. Yeah. I should have gotten red for myself as well, because my name is not like properly Charlotte. My name is Rikke. And since that starts with an R, and Ron in the movies and the books has this maroon sweater, and his name is Ron, meaning Ronald, meaning he has an R. I could have matched him, like Haley in Haley's Space. She's knitting up the blue version for herself, and since her name is Haley, she gets an H. And Harry in the books and movies also has a blue. It could be like it matches the movies and the films. I like that. So I could have done that for myself, but I enjoy greens and blues better than I enjoy red for myself. But my nephew is getting this red one. I have only just purchased the yarn, so it's on its way. I purchased it on Friday, so we'll get it this week. And yeah, we'll probably knit that for him right away. I don't know. I have a lot of things I need to get done before, like in good time before Christmas. This is one of them, because I need to ship it up north to them. I don't know if I will see them before Christmas, but I want to ship some of it like now during summer, because the thing that I knit for my sister-in-law, it's a summer garment, so I wanted to have it now during summer. Um, yeah, but like sweater and pants, jacket and overalls, and a weekly sweater. He's getting 5 garments in total, just because I have the yarn and time. And my sister-in-law is getting one twist loop top. I don't have anything for my brother-in-law. I don't really know what he would want. I think I have like, because I want to do some personalized stuff. And he's in a rock band. They're all very musical. She's like a classical music artist, like an opera singer, which is awesome. Has this gorgeous voice, and yeah. But she looks great in red, therefore I knit that specific top in red for her. But for him, I'm thinking like fun socks. For some reason, I want to knit like socks with like the guitar, some form of guitar element on the sock for him, my brother-in-law, that is. But I haven't really thought about it that much, and I need some more thinking. Right now my head is just filled with the things for my nephew and the self-drafted date night v-neck for my boyfriend, and I need to make the stockings for my brother's national costume, because he's getting that from me for Christmas this year. And I have some whips, so I have a lot of things I need to get done pretty quickly. But even though I do have good time, I use in general I need 2 weeks for one garment, 3 weeks for a grown-up sweater, because I need 1 week for the body, and usually 1 week for each sleeve, but let's say a week and a half for both sleeves, and then there's like the cuff, and then including blocking, so 2.5 weeks for just the knitting, depending on what construction it is. If it's a raglan, then I need some extra time for the sleeves, because Sleeve Island is not fun. But if it is a bottom up, if I start with the sleeves, it's fast. It's no work needed at all. It's just do it. Like now, I feel like I'm almost done, because I'm currently working on the body, and the sleeves are done. So when I finish up the body, I just have to continue with the yoke. But it is color work, so I don't know. Yeah. And not to mention that I also have other things that I want to knit. I want to finish the Dagmar zipper sweater, but that isn't really urgent right now because it's summer and it will be way too hot to use now. So that can be on hold until at least fall, which is only 2 months away. Still, it starts to get a little bit cool in like September here, and then it's frost in October. Yeah, I do also have the mittens for my mom. That's a Christmas gift for her, but I basically only have one more mitten to do. And I need to figure out where she will be this Christmas, so I know where to ship it or if to ship it at all. And I have some socks from my boyfriend that he has been asking since we got together, basically. And yeah, as you can hear, I don't really knit for myself. I have 3 things that I've knitted up for myself, and that's the first twist loop top, my teddy top, and the Haraboji cardigan. That's it. And I have some socks, but I don't really count those. But that's really it. That's all that I've knit for myself since starting knitting. It has been a lot of like gift knits. Like my first completed sweater, gift knit from my brother. That was like the Weasley sweater from my brother. And then I knit a sweater. I don't remember exactly the order in these gift knits, but I knit up a sweater that it was supposed to be for me, but that ended up being for my mom, because at that point I hadn't really knit a thing for my mom. Because I already, like the start of this year, my first videos here on this YouTube channel was a zipper sweater for my dad. He got that like a little bit after his birthday, late January. And then I finished up the sweater that ended up being from my mom. What did I do then after that? I don't remember. Oh no, I have 4 garments for myself actually. I knitted 1 sweater for myself in 2 weeks. That was crazy. But I knitted 1 sweater for my boyfriend, and I have 1 for my brother, and 1 for my dad, and 1 for my mom, 1 for myself. And then my nephew. Now 1 for my sister-in-law. And this one, nephew. I've only really planned stuff for other people. Oh, yeah, and then the pure rib shirt. It was a test knit. We don't talk about that. It was supposed to be done, but we don't talk about it. So shh. Yeah. I do have some yarn that I'm really excited to start knitting on, and it is none of the stuff that I have talked about thus far on my channel. I have so I bought the yarn for the Lunch at Tiffany's dress by Ann-Katrin Stoll. I bought the yarn and the pattern for that, and thinking that I was going to knit that. I started with the back panel. I think I knitted the back panel like 3 times, and then it just stayed on hold because I lost courage or something. And then I frogged it. It's still right there. I'm looking at it right now. But I frogged it and thinking I can knit a basic tee with this yarn instead of the dress that I maybe wear just a little bit. So I'll rather knit up some basic black tees and actually get a lot of wear on them. So I will do that, but I won't be doing that until I've gotten this Christmas gift list done. But it's those tees, and I'm thinking about knitting another Haraboji cardigan in the recommended yarn this time, because I have finished mine, which I can link down below, and you can see in one of the corners here. I do wear it a lot. I really, really like it. It's so nice and cuddly, but it is just so big on me, and it's slippery. I knitted it off in merino wool, so it is warm and it is soft and really nice, but it's slippery, and I am missing some structure in it. I feel like it should be a little bit more stiff and soften up with wear. But this is just soft. It's just flopping and sliding, and yeah, it's really comfortable, and I have worn it a lot since finishing it, but I want a different one. Yeah. I really want a different one, and I'm thinking like a charcoal gray, a dark gray. Yeah. But I will probably not start with that until next year someday. Yeah. All this started with me thinking, wanting to talk about the diagram for this sweater, but well, I don't really think that I will be needing 2 weeks for this sweater. I think this will be like a one video sweater, and since I'm thinking that, I am having that as a goal, but now that I'm looking at it, like, maybe not. I don't know how long this should be. I don't remember. I can check it, but yeah, let me check it. Knit until the garment reaches 24 centimeters. This is something that annoys me just a little bit. It is a tiny pet peeve of mine regarding patterns. It is when it doesn't say excluding or including the ribbing. Here it just says that knit stockinette until the garment reaches 24 centimeters. Some part of me is saying, okay, just the stockinette part. Really? Okay. And then the other part of me is like, obviously, it is including the ribbing, because the ribbing is 4 centimeters. So knit until the stockinette part is 20. And maybe I should knit it until it's 24. Just I did. Then maybe it will be weird because, all right, I am a very messy storyteller. You can probably tell, but so he's a big boy, my nephew. He's turning 2 in February, late February, and he's using size 2 currently, and he's been using size 2 for a little while now. So I thought that, okay, let me just check my gauge and what the yarn calls for and what the pattern calls for, and I figured out that if I followed the pattern as is, with this yarn, my garment will be just a tiny bit bigger because the yarn is thicker. I don't know what yarn type it is. Sport weight, perhaps. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I will figure it out and tell you here. But yeah, the yarn is at least thicker, so my garment is a little bit bigger, meaning it will be slightly bigger than for a 2-year-old. The pattern does not have a sizing for a 3-year-old. If it had, I would have knit that because that would be great. Then it will fit him for a little bit longer because he's a big boy. Like I said, he's growing quite fast, quickly and fast. I don't know if you heard that, but there's seagulls here. What was I saying? Yeah, sizing. He's growing quite fast. And if there were a size 3, I would have done that for him instead of size 2-year-old. But thicker yarn, bigger garment. So hoping that it will work out. That also that's some of the reasons why I did like a 4mm needle for the cast on edge before working the ribbing in 3mm. Yeah. Let me measure this actually, because I think it's 11 centimeters. Right? It's out there. I think 11 from my very accurate thumb and index finger measurements. Let's see how good that is. It's 13. I have 11 more centimeters to go. And I did that this morning. No worries. I will start on the colorwork section today. What time is it? It's like... It's okay. It's 2:15. Yeah. I will be finished with this in a couple of hours. And then I will start on the yoke. So... And then I will just do round by round. Fun fact about me, or not that really fun, I'm not the biggest fan of color work because when I knit, I want it done now. I want to see progress. I want quick progress, and I don't really have quick progress with color work because I need to keep my head straight on my shoulders. And here on this, I am knitting with 3 different yarns at the time. It's one thing when it's 2, but this is 3. Hello, boyfriend. So the body is finished before the yoke. I now have the yoke and the collar left, and obviously weaving in some ends. But I think I can get this done Tuesday or Wednesday. Perhaps Tuesday, but then I will probably be doing some long evenings. But I think Tuesday or Wednesday is realistic. It's so small. And then the sleeves will be attached to each of the sides here. Cute. I've just broke a record. I just hit a new personal best. I've finished one entire sweater in 5 days. It is a kid sweater, but it's still a sweater. So I don't really remember what I have recorded or not, so I just want to walk through this entire sweater because it took me no time at all. So, Thursday, technically day one, because I figured out that I wanted to at least cast on the ribbing for one sleeve. And I did. I cast it on, and then I remembered something about the cast on edge being quite tight on my nephew's wrist, who this sweater is for. And I figured, okay, I'm gonna rip that up and cast on a 4mm needle instead of a 3mm needle, which the ribbing is worked up in. And I cast it up in a 4mm and continued to rib in a 3mm before switching over to 3.5 and working the colorwork section and the rest of the sleeve, basically. But I only cast it on the first time and worked the ribbing and frogged that thing Thursday. It was late. I've just finished up my twist slip top, second knit through, so it was kind of late. So that was all that I did on Thursday. Friday, I worked, and then when I finished up at work at 3 o'clock, I got home and I cast on again. Worked this entire sleeve, and I fastened I weaved in all of the ends on this one sleeve. Saturday, we went for a little trip. Just a little trip with my boyfriend and I. We took a little dip in the ocean, in the Northern Sea, which was milder than I thought, but in the meantime, like in between dips, I knitted on the second sleeve. I did not weave in the ends as you can see, but did I only do that on Sunday? No, Saturday? Yeah, I did, actually. The entire Saturday. We were in between places and bathing and stuff like that and just relaxing. One sleeve. So now, Friday, Saturday, both sleeves done. Sunday comes around and I cast on for the body. Finish the entire body before the yoke. No worries. And then Monday comes around and I'm thinking, okay, now I'm on the yoke. I'm gonna knit a little bit up and then work the round and with decreases and everything, and figured maybe I'll get done Tuesday, realistically Wednesday. But I got these done. So I did not get until this pink zigzag thing. I got until like the tiny dots here, the crosses. And I figured maybe I will be done on Wednesday. I don't think I will be done on Tuesday. I thought I had way more work left than I actually had. But today, I really thought about the pattern. I was like, I only have decreases left. Like, that's it. I only have decreases and the collar left. So I worked it up. It is now currently, 8 o'clock. 3 minutes to 8 o'clock. And I have not woven in the ends, but the collar is folded. I only have in total 16 ends to weave in, and it's not really that much. It's fine. I did continue. I just really like the color combination, but I'll talk about that later. The floats now. I carried over, as you can see here. Here's where I started with the different colors, and then you see the crisscrosses here. Is where I just carried them over. So here, the yellow part, and then you see the yellow string, and then the yellow part, because I didn't knit it. But yeah, you probably know about this. But I figured that would be better than what I did for the first sleeve, because on the first sleeve, I knit every time I was done with that section and that color was not going to be knitted for at least like 1, maybe 2 rounds. I snipped the thread, so it had way many more points of weaving to do, I guess. But now it's only 3, 7, 10, 13. I have 13 ends to weave in. 14 ends to weave in. It's nothing. It will go by quickly. Alright. Colors. I just wanted a funky sweater. I just wanted a fun, funky sweater for my nephew who turns 2 in February. And I think this hit the target. I think it's really fun, and it's weird to say. I feel like it's not as vibrant on camera, but it's like, I don't know. It's weird because it is vibrant on camera, obviously, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it. The sizing on this is a little bit different than the pattern. I knitted up the size 2 years old, and so the sleeves are exactly to pattern. The body is not. The body has 16 more stitches than the pattern calls for, and that is simply because I was lazy. I have an 80 centimeter round needle, and I should have had like 60 centimeters, because with all the stitches for the body, it's like, I don't know, I would have had to stretch, or like it just didn't fit well enough on the 80 centimeter needle. So I did not have to like stretch every single stitch and like have the cord go like, I don't know. So instead of having them barely fit on the needle, I just cast on X amount of stitches times 2. So these 2, you can't really see that. 2 here, these 2 stars, not really supposed to be there. I have too many of the pattern, but it adds up, so it works. All I had to do was just take extra decreases before I did the collar, which is fine. No worries. It just means that it is a little bit bigger in the body than the pattern calls for a 2-year-old, which I don't really mind. I mean, he needs at least size 2-year-old. So, but I am still waiting for a lot of yarn. Well, not a lot of yarn. I'm waiting for the yarn for his Christmas sweater. So I figured I'm gonna now start on the pants, the matching pants for this, which is not really that special. It doesn't have this colorwork section on the yoke, but it has this for the legs. And I'm gonna use that same pattern probably for the second pair of pants that I'm gonna knit him with some stash yarn. I did talk about that, the bare pants that I want to knit for him, and the overalls. I'm gonna use that pattern for these pants as a stencil. and then just add the like the overall flap and the bare details and stuff like that. I think that would be good enough. But yeah, that's it. 5 days, well, give or take. I have not later. I don't feel like doing that right now. I will do that before I block it. I'll probably block this and the pants together. But now I want to cast on for the pants. So see you when I see you.